Hi everyone, it's Mihaela here. Just a quick disclaimer before we start this episode. This is going to be a little bit different. This episode ended up being huge, very long, so we decided to just chop it up in 4 parts, and this will be the first one. So enjoy the episode. Bye.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
I'm 37? I'll have what she's having.
Well done! Well done!
Hello everyone.
Hello, guys.
Hi Bruno.
Hi, Miha.
Hey. How are you?
Fine. You?
I'm a bit tired, but I'm very, very excited for today's episode.
Oh,
I
me
hope
too.
everyone is okay. Like, I hope, like, when we say hi and how are you, we're like, hi, everybody. How are you? What's up? Are you good? Are you healthy? Have you been drinking water? We've been watching a lot of movies. The movie we're talking today is pretty summary,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yes.
If we think about it, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
There's a lot of sun in that film, yeah.
there's a lot of sun. It's going to be fun. I feel like this is a choice that a lot of people will enjoy. It's a movie that I feel like a lot of people have watched. It's a very funny one. It's obviously a bit of a satire. Has a lot of it has a social commentary there,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course. But we're also here to have fun like we have in most of our episodes. I'm saying most because like sometimes we choose a movie that it's too deep and it's not really fun. But we try.
But this
Okay?
this film has a lot of layers, and I went to read some of the reviews, like the official film critics. I was laughing because all the film critics that are a bit conservative, they hated the
Oh,
film.
of
And
course. I mean, think
and that for
about it.
me it's a plus. It's like give this man the Oscar.
Yeah, if the conservatives hate it,
Oh,
then
it's a good film.
conclusion. Anyway, before we start the episode, we just want to say thank you so much for everyone that have been listening to us, have been joining us every episode. We appreciate it. We see you. Thank you for following us. You can, if you have not followed us, and this is your first time listening, then go ahead and do it. The links are down below on the description episode. And remember, you can follow us in the description down below. Our Instagram and the email will be linked there. You can send us messages. If you have a funny story that one of our episodes have recalled, you can send us, and we might even tell your story on next episode. Who knows? Of course, with your permission. Also, don't forget to rate our podcast on Spotify. That helps us a lot with visibility and, with the algorithm and whatnot. And yeah, I think that's it for a bit of self promo of
Yeah.
the podcast. Yeah, we don't want to bug a lot of people with this because this is like, of course, this is a bit boring, but it's a part of the job. We have to remind people to do this. Either way, we just wanted to say thank you for joining us, and let's get into the movie. Bruno, do you have something to say about it?
Yeah, just adding to what you said, just subscribe Spotify, Apple Podcast, and hit the little bell so that you get notifications that a new episode is out, so that you can have
Yeah,
fun
you don't want to
or
lose
as
it. I
much,
mean,
yeah, or as much
you
fun
don't
as
want to
we have
miss
doing
it.
it.
Yeah.
So, going into the film, this is Mira's choice. And if you've been listening to us for like a few episodes, you'll be going like, of course, this is Mira's choice because this is a strike. This is actually a huge strike on capitalism.
What?
And
Wait a
because
second. I don't get that. I
because
didn't get that.
you keep bad mouthing capitalism and all throughout the episodes, and love is capitalism, everything is of course it is. I'm not disagreeing with you, but you're very
Wait.
vocal about it. And this film is actually a huge airstrike on capitalism.
Okay, yeah, it is, but like I didn't even show that because of that. Like It just happens that my love and hate shows up in my movie's choice.
Yeah. Yes,
Because
it does.
although capitalism sucks, you always succumb to it. And sometimes I see myself just being very much a consumer, someone that consumes a lot of material things that I don't need. And I spend my money on stuff that I don't need, but because it gives me dopamine and because I want it. And yeah, it just fulfills the satisfaction that I know I could fulfill with other means, other ways, but I choose to do it with money. So, I critique it, but I also love it and I also participate in it because say it with me, everybody, there is no way to escape capitalism.
There isn't. So, the film that we'll be talking about is The Triangle of Sadness by Ruben Östlund. He won
Yep.
the Festival of Cannes.
Palme d'Or.
The Palme d'Or, yeah, it's the
Palme
biggest
d'Or.
prize, the
Yeah, I've
highest
been
prize.
learning French for like a year and I stopped. And my Duolingo bird is very angry at
Oh,
me.
yeah.
But you know what? It just shows. I think he's right to be angry because if the Duolingo bird just heard me say Palme d'Or, he would be like, gee,
Wow, what a failure you are.
yeah, what a failure you are. Like,
I think Duolingo should like the bird should say stuff like that. Like he's just a failure. Here
but
you
he
are.
says stuff like that. What do
It
you mean?
does.
Like he
Mine
doesn't
doesn't.
say you're
Probably I turn off
okay.
the notifications
He
because
doesn't say you're a failure, but he's like, I'm very disappointed in you.
oh yeah, my Duolingo bird has said that to me. Yeah, especially. But I'm like I haven't opened the app for like 90 days or something. Like even my phone is like, do you want to delete this app because you haven't used it for 90 days?
I
And
swear.
I'm like, I'm
Okay.
afraid of opening Duolingo and being told off by the birds.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the experience of everyone that has Duolingo. They're like, this
Yeah.
is so fun. This bird supports me so much.
But
And
it
then
doesn't. When you start failing, it's just like, oh, you're a failure. Are you ready to
you're a
fail again?
failure. Duolingo is angry at you.
Yeah.
He's disappointed at you. He's gonna take your family and only give it back once you start a
Once you
new
finish the
strike,
course, yeah.
once you are fluent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's super funny because I was very into Duolingo when I was working in a conference, in an international conference. I remember that the scholars that were there, they couldn't open their email on the computer on the classrooms,
Yeah.
and I went there and I was like, okay, I can put mine if you want to, like I have an email from this school, so it's fine. So I went and I put my email and then it just opened a bunch of Duolingo messages from my email, and it was like the projector was on, so it
Oh
was like
God, everyone
projected in
saw
a
it.
big screen. All my Duolingo failures
Yeah.
and all these scholars with PhDs were like looking at the screen like, okay.
Okay. She's
And I
not
was
that
like,
good with Duolingo.
and I was like, I swear I know languages, like I know a lot, like just stop.
It's a funny story. So
Yeah, I
going
know.
back to this film, I want to say this. For the Academy Awards, this film actually was nominated for the big three: Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay.
Did it win any?
No, but just
Okay.
of course it didn't win it.
I
It's a
mean,
European film.
yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, well, good. Yeah, nice shot,
especially
nice
because
shot.
you can't
Yeah.
even say like his name, like Ruben Östlund or something like that. It's like imagine going like in front of millions of people, like, and the winner is Ruben Östlund.
Yeah, I mean, everything just for the celebrities of the
They're like, screw
Oscars
this,
not to
Steven
look bad. Yeah.
Spielberg. And they're like, Steven Spielberg
Yeah,
hasn't made a film. You're like, ah, doesn't matter, Steven
it
Spielberg.
doesn't matter. We know how to say his name, so you won. And even though Spielberg is not necessarily, I mean, of course they would know how to say it, but
Yeah,
you
it's a
know,
German name, isn't
but having a more American and simple name,
it? Yeah.
you know. but it would be easier for them. But I would say that it doesn't matter if it won Oscar, like the Oscars or not. It doesn't matter. It for me, and I think this is the majority of people's opinion. The Oscar award doesn't really.
No, it doesn't show anything.
It doesn't show much. It doesn't really put a prestige on the movie, a
No.
quality on it.
It's not.
For me, it really doesn't.
It's
And
not a quality trade.
in terms of cinema awards, the Cannes Festival ends up being the biggest one,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And therefore, if he won the Palme d'Or,
Twice. He
then
won
I
it
think,
twice already.
yeah, he won it twice, sure. One of the second time it was with the Triangle of Sadness.
Not a lot of directors have done that, winning Cannes for twice. So
yeah, like who cares about the Academy, like the Oscars? I mean, I only cared for the drama, you know.
yeah,
Just an average consumer. I feel like
I-
everyone just cares because of the drama. When it was like that whole debacle of the Will Smith slap, I mean, no one was talking about the movies that
no,
won or lost.
no.
Everyone was like, "Oh, Will Smith."
Someone got slapped. Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
big thing. Yeah. But I learned a lot with this film, especially like in the beginning, because the beginning of the film when they're doing that really weird casting.
The movie, it's not necessarily, it plays with the same characters, right? But
Yeah.
it doesn't follow like a storyline. I mean, it follows later on, but
Yeah.
in the beginning, it's a little bit like an introduction.
It's a bit chaotic, isn't it? It's a bit.
Yeah, so basically the movie is cut in 3 parts, okay? But before the first part starts, we are introduced to a character, you know, he's a model, it's Carl, and he's played by the cute Harris Dickinson. And I have a friend that says that he's probably one of the emerging actors of the 19th generation, and
Probably,
he's
yeah.
gonna be huge. And I haven't watched a lot of Harris Dickinson's movies. I've watched The Iron Claw. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
It's yeah, with Zac Efron, but and he was good in it. But yeah, this was like the second movie that I've watched of his, and I enjoy his work. But yeah, it starts with him. He's a model, and he's just auditioning for
Yeah,
you
he's
know
doing a
model
casting.
company.
But they're doing like sort of documentary on the casting, and it's really uncomfortable, the entire scene.
It's like an interview, right? A reality TV
Yeah,
show kind of.
thing. But the thing is, there's a commentary in there because all the models are like undressed from waist up, aren't they? They're undressed, and it kind of gives that vibe of a slave trade kind of thing, but with white bodies. Probably that one of the things that it's so uncomfortable to see, because they're all in that little room, they are packed, and you can see sometimes they move like in a herd of cattle, right? Because the guys that they are filming the documentary are making them move from like move there and stuff like that. So you kind of have that it's kind of a trade of like selling people, because it is what it is, because you're going
It
to a
is. I
casting,
mean, modeling
it's
industry.
modeling, yeah,
Yeah.
it is kind of
But what do you
human traffic.
But what are your thoughts on the whole Balenciaga HM bit that they do with the
that
models?
was really funny.
It was so funny. What the heck?
That was really funny. When the guy's like, "Oh, something's very inexpensive, like H&M."
No,
And
but
it's
because
like,
the
what?
guy who was interviewing the models, like
Yeah.
he was saying, okay, so now you are at this campaign in this photo shoot, so pretend you are a Balenciaga model.
Yeah.
And the guys start to be like super serious, super
Yeah.
seductive and serious, and like not a smile on inside. And then the interviewer is like, okay, now something inexpensive like H&M.
Yeah.
And the guys start smiling, super cheerful, like, yay,
Yeah.
H&M. And then Balenciaga again, and they're like super super serious.
Yeah,
You
but
have to
it's
see
that
it. You have to see
idea,
it.
isn't it? It's the idea of like you have the elite is very super serious people, and the poor only have fun and they're always laughing, and you have that
But they are
thing.
not.
Yeah, it's like it's really weird, but it's funny at the same time.
Yeah,
But
it's super funny. And it got me thinking, like, yeah, actually, I've never seen an HM campaign where they're like super seductive and serious.
yeah, no,
It's
they
like,
always chilled out and always laugh. It's really
yeah.
fun. But I had to stop the film when I was watching it because this was actually the first time I watched it. I heard about the film, but I never had like the really curiosity to watch it until you said like, let's watch this. And I'm like, oh, okay. At least it will give me a reason to see it. But I love the film. I loved it, loved it.
I knew,
Loved it. And I
I knew
kept
you
watching
would,
it,
so.
and as soon as the like the airstrike on capitalism started, I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. This is
Okay,
the
but like,
Mira's choice.
no, no, no. Like, I chose it because it was like a whole debacle. Like,
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
was, because of the messy. It's the messy.
It's so messy. The film is so messy. Oh
I
God.
love movies. They're like eat the rich,
But yeah, it is. But it was like
or
when
puke
the
the
guy
rich.
when he's like walking and the guy all of a sudden he's like, "Can you soften your triangle of sadness?" And I was like, "Oh, wait a second.
Try,
So
yeah.
the triangle of
So
sadness is not just the name of the film." So I had to Google it. It was like triangle of sadness, but everything comes is the film. So I had to say like triangle of sadness, fashion, and then I got to the explanation that the triangle of sadness is this area just between your eyebrows and the top of your
yeah,
nose that
yeah.
wrinkles and gives you the expression to your face. It's this bit, and I was like, this is really weird. That
Yeah,
has that in this
apparently
name.
a lot of people put Botox on that
Yeah,
area, so they are not, they don't have the triangle of sadness. And I feel like it's because of the wrinkles, but also it's super interesting to think how this small area of your
yeah,
face has so much tension and muscle
yeah,
that it creates like such an expression. Like
yeah,
it really you can't really see me right now because this is a podcast, but like I'm just frowning a lot
yeah.
right now. Like I'm just showing my triangle is not
Yeah,
sad.
because
My
it does a
triangle is
triangle,
depressed.
doesn't it?
My
It really does a triangle.
but before we actually go to our first part of the movie, because this modeling stuff was just like an introduction to the
Oh
movie, it's
yeah.
super weird, like it's
Yeah,
super random, but
yeah.
funny at the same time. And before we start, we have to do our plot sentence because we have
Oh
been
yeah, yeah,
forgetting to
yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
We
yes.
suck, and we are sorry. So, plot sentence. You want to start? You want to do it?
Okay, I'll do it like in a
Okay, so for
phrase.
those who don't know what a plot sentence is, it's just like this small segment that we have on our episodes. That is basically we just try to just compact the whole movie in
Yeah.
one sentence. So you want to start?
Oh yes.
Okay, go ahead.
When the super rich in the middle of vomit, piss, and shit discover money doesn't matter.
Okay, that's pretty telling. That's pretty telling. A bit of a spoiler there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I like it. Mine is a bit more, it's similar kinda, but not really. My plot sentence at first was like, even lost on an island, the rich would never become selfless. But which is also very telling. But then I read an article, and there's this article on the Criterion Collection, written by A.S. Hamra.
Mhm.
And they say something that really I was like, this is the perfect plot sentence. I can't. So there's a moment in the article that they say, a comedic anti-Titanic set in our present.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't say day, but like I would add the day on
Yeah.
in our present day. And I was like, this is perfect. This is
Yeah.
perfect as a plot sentence for the damn
That's good.
movie. That is very good,
That's
don't you
very good.
think?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
very good.
that is very good. Okay. So with these plot sentences, I feel like a lot of people would think, okay, so this movie is about rich people, is about a boat, maybe, is about funny stuff.
Super funny stuff for me was really funny stuff.
Yeah, so let's get into it. You know what? Let's get into the movie. Okay. First part.
Part
Let's
one, Carl and Yaya.
So Carl is our character that we were talking about just now, played by Harris Dickinson, and Yaya is played by Charlby Dean. This actress, very beautiful actress. She passed away actually
Yeah.
before the movie had premiered in theaters. So this movie ends up being very much associated with her, and she's one of the main characters. So, and it's her last movie. So it is very related. So we just wanted to say also, like,
And she's beautiful.
R.I.P.
She's really
She's
beautiful.
she's I mean, if like
She was
she was
beautiful.
so well she was so well casted as
Oh,
like a model
yes.
influencer, because she's very beautiful, but she also has that essence that I see of a lot of travel influencers.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. They are very like tanned with this long hair, and I think she was actually very well casted for her
Oh, yeah.
character.
And one thing that made her character so fascinating was the fact that, like, she is a model, she's an influencer, and she takes all these pictures. And because she has a huge scar, doesn't she? Because when she was in, like, she basically the story of this girl, Charlotte Bidin. She's South African, and she was involved in a car accident like 15 years ago, something like that. In order to save her life, they had to do like the surgery where they took her spleen out. And
Yeah, she
later
had a
on,
scar, yeah,
yeah,
on
and
her
later
belly.
on, she actually died from a complication from an infection that she wouldn't have died if she had the spleen. So it's really tragic. The story of her life is a bit tragic in that
Yeah,
sense.
true.
So I found it really interesting that she had that scar, but she owned it, didn't she? Because she was always posing for pictures and everything.
Yeah,
But
in
she had the scar along,
swimsuits,
yeah,
and yeah,
from like the chest to the bikini line kind of thing. You had that
true.
scar,
Yeah, that is true.
and I was like, oh, what a fascinating casting choice.
Yeah, and thinking about, like, because her character is an influencer, she works in social media, and if you think about influencer culture and
Yeah,
how they present themselves in their visual platforms, which is basically where they make the most money and brand deals and all of
yeah,
that. It's through their physical appearance. I feel like you don't see a lot of owning of their scars,
yeah,
on their body.
mm,
Like, because your body is your work, is
yeah,
what actually gives you opportunities, money, and a platform. Your beauty, your work, your physique, your face. Sometimes for some people it's personality, but that really comes in second place or
yeah,
third.
yeah,
So
sure.
it's really your appearance, and it has to be perfect. And the perfection, I mean, I bet a lot of these influencers might have scars, but they definitely take them out through, photo edits and
Yeah, yeah.
whatnot.
Or sometimes
Uh,
they put a tattoo on top of it or something like that.
but I don't see many owning. They're like
Yeah.
huge scars, like big scars, like this
Mm-hmm.
one that Charles B. Dean had. So it was really interesting to see such representation of an
Oh yeah,
influencer.
it was
Yeah,
really,
because she was most of the time in the movie. I mean, not most of the time, but a lot of scenes in the movie, she was in a swimsuit and a
yeah.
bikini. So she was showing a lot of her skin, a lot of her body, and it was pretty visible.
No, the scar, yeah, the scar was pretty visible. It was really amazing, an amazing choice. But anyway, you only see this in the second part. The first part, I found it really, I was laughing because basically they go out for dinner and everything, and
They
then
are
all
a
of
couple.
they
They
are
are
a
a
couple,
couple.
and
He's a
they,
model, she's an influencer type of
yeah,
model, and they go
and
to dinner.
to dinner, and then all of a sudden you see this huge discussion and fight over a subject that you're not expecting to see an influencer or a model to have, which was like who's paying the bill, and all this gender roles discussion, and all that, and who makes more money than whom, and all. And I was like, this is such a weird discussion to have. And the guy was really upset because Carl is actually very violent as a character.
Yeah, Carl is very violent, but like, yeah, he is very violent. Doesn't he punch the elevator door at some
No, he
point?
doesn't. Yeah, because he doesn't allow it to get to close it because he's still fighting, and the elevator keeps closing, and he keeps opening and jamming the door open,
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like
No,
that. And
he's.
yeah,
I, but I was thinking about you say it's not really a topic that you would think an influencer and model would have. Um, and what is the topic? Is the discussion of gender roles and gender equality in a relationship, in this case, in an heteronormative relationship, or the discussion of who's paying the bill?
coming from my own prejudice against models and socialites and influencers and stuff like that, but it's like the dialogue is really well written, of course, written by the director and everything, and you see it, and it's really well written. But it's like it's a dialogue that I would never put on a model's mouth. Like the guy is a model, because they are very well informed. Because the way they discuss like the roles and the gender roles, that's what struck me. Not just much like the you said you're going to pay the bill and you're not paying the bill. That's just bickering about money, which
Yeah.
it's fine. But it's actually all the gender role because he goes out and he starts fighting with the gender role. It's like they even go into this what is to be a man and what's to be a woman and
Yeah.
all of that, and you'd be like, damn boy, why are you discussing gender role? Do you have like a social degree or something all of a sudden, like while modeling, you know?
Okay, okay,
Oh, the guy's a
okay.
model, but he's also a sociologist. But
He's also feminist. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. But he says that he says something like bullshit feminism, and it's like, wow, the guy actually knows how to say feminism. Uh,
You would not think from a pretty boy.
yeah, exactly. But that's my own prejudice talking. Don't.
I mean, I guess I wasn't really expecting the gender conversation, but I liked the money conversation because
Oh yeah,
she clearly was like she was powdering her face, she was like
yeah,
retouching her makeup, and the bill comes and she's not picking up, she's not even looking at it, and
yeah,
he's just awkwardly looking at her and the bill and being like, I don't want to pick it up. Like, I don't want
yeah,
to pick the bill. But she's not looking at it. She's like
yeah,
retouching her makeup. She is entertained. Like, and he ends up like grabbing the bill and paying. But he communicates it. He says like, you know what, this ain't it. Like this.
yeah,
Um, like I thought you said you would pay, and the whole thing comes also because she makes more money than him,
yeah,
because she's not only an influencer but she's also a model, because in the beginning of this first part, Yaya is in a fashion show, she's in a
yeah,
fashion runway, so we know this disparity between them. But he's like, I want us to be equal. And it's like, I know you make more money than me, but I've been paying and, all this stuff. So that's why he then starts with the gender talk. How genuine that was, I don't know. Does he want equality really? Or is he just mad
that he
because
paying.
that he's paying again? Like, it's just because, you know what? I don't want to pay because I make less.
Yeah, you
And that's it.
disguising one subject with another, isn't?
Yeah, I felt a bit like that. But then they go to the hotel room and they are talking about the whole relationship, and Yaya says that she wants to be, basically Yaya says she wants to be a trophy wife.
Yeah,
And this, as you know, in terms of gender, being a trophy wife is very not feminist,
yeah.
I would say. And Carl is like, no, I'm gonna make you love me. Yeah, you wanna bet on it? I'm like, what is happening?
That's so
Like,
red flag. It's like that's so God, I'm gonna make you love me. I was like,
nah,
oh
Carl is a red
boy,
flag. Like,
come on, go see a shrink.